we're going to take a look at creating a midplane surface mesh model of a more complex casting part. In this case, we have multiple blends and we have multiple wall thicknesses, such as 090 wall thickness on the ribs, 125 thickness on the side walls, and 188 thickness on the base. We're also going to apply a custom toolbar that I've created just for midplane modeling and meshing. Basically, this midplane toolbar is taking selected FEMAP commands and organizing them to simulate the process I'm going to use in midplane modeling. We're going to start with automatic midplane extraction. Select all our surfaces. Set a target wall thickness of 188. And we'll view the mid-surface group that was automatically created by FEMAP. Let's take a look at some of our geometry. You can see we've got some of these surfaces that were created for the midplane. You can see one of the side walls, and then you can also see the original casting. We're going to delete that original casting geometry as we no longer need it for this in this case. Next step I'm going to do is set up automatically add any operations to this active midplane group. You'll see that now with the ribs of this casting, there's a little extraneous surface where it came out or it aligned with the inner wall. We're going to use a trim with curve operation. Select the rib and select the curve I want to trim it with. And we'll just walk around the 4 ribs and complete that operation. I'm now ready to delete those extra surfaces. So we'll just do a delete surface. And they're gone. If I zoom in on one of the ribs, you'll see that I've got a point where that intersection, or where I did the trimming operation. So I'm going to clean that up with a solid cleanup command. And you can see that extraneous point is eliminated. Next step is going to be to intersect our surfaces. And what this does is it actually goes in and creates intersection curves on the different walls. And you can see on the side wall where I've got alignment with the 2 ribs on there. Before I start meshing, I'm going to use the assign mesh attributes command to go in and use the material that we originally brought in with the solid edge part, and uses the sidewall thicknesses or the wall thicknesses that were created in the extraction of the midplanes. So if I look at my properties, for an example, property 6, which is called untitled, we can always go in and change that to say 0.125 wall, and it has a thickness of 125. So we'll update our model, and we'll set the mesh size. And we'll make it a little smaller than the recommended. And I'm going to put 8 elements and set the max size on small feature the same as my mesh spacing. We're now ready to mesh. We'll select our surfaces. Turn off quick cut so we get a nice symmetric mesh on the base. And there's our mesh. Last step to demonstrate how those wall thicknesses were extracted is I'm going to run a little program or macro that I recorded, which basically turns on the display of the cross section of the shell elements. So in just a few moments, you've seen how we've been able to create a midplane mesh of a complex casting.